Hello and welcome to this video tutorial on behalf of the Parent Connect Wales project, where we're going to be talking through the website testing and user experience workshops in regards to the Parenting Give It Time campaign. My name is Anna Westall and I'm a Policy Officer in Children in Wales.
And my name is Fataha Ali and I'm the Lead Development Officer on the Parent Connect Wales project. Today we're going to do a short video tutorial just to give you an idea of how to deliver this workshop to the parents that you work with. Thank you so much for agreeing to deliver these website testing sessions with your parent groups and being a part of this project. So the workshop is to answer 17 questions that we've been provided by Welsh Government around the Parenting Give It Time campaign. And today we're going to demonstrate to you how you can run these sessions with the parents you work with and how you can use the resources that we will be providing you.
So we're providing you with a number of resources. You may have received these already by email. One of them will be the PowerPoint, which is already on the screen now, and that basically takes you through each section that we're going to talk through today. And you can use the PowerPoint in the sessions if you have the ability to with your technology. If not, you can just use it for your reference. You'll also receive a session plan, a detailed session plan, which goes through each of the sections, and it will talk through the timings and how the session actually runs. And that is what we're going to be basing this tutorial on today, so we'll be talking through that with you. Then you will also have a feedback form. Obviously we want you to record as much as possible of what the parents are saying, capturing it in their own words in a number of different ways, and we'll talk through some of the ways you can capture their views. But the feedback form is specific to each section, and it will look very similar to this, as you can see on the screen. Some of the first information is just who's actually in the session, age of their children and what part of Wales you are from. And then there'll be a number of questions and a space for you to record what parents are sharing. So those are the things that you'll have from us. Like I said, you may have already received those. If not, they will be with you shortly.
Okay, so what are the aims of this workshop? Why are we doing this workshop and doing this part of the project? So there are three main goals for this workshop. So it is to gain insights from parents and caregivers about the support and information that they need on their parenting journey. And this is parents and caregivers of children and young people aged between 0 to 18 living in Wales. And secondly, just to understand the awareness of what parenting support is available from Welsh Government, and also the idea of positive parenting. And also lastly, just to gather some feedback on the Parenting Give It Time website and the campaign that can be fed back to Welsh Government to make improvements and ensure that more parents are accessing it and using it.
Okay, so we're going to talk through the first section of the workshop, which is going to be looking at the website overview and first impressions. So for this, I'm going to pull up the session plan so you can see how that's set up. So as I mentioned, you'll all receive a detailed session plan which you can use to guide how you go through this process. Now what we've done is we've set what we think this session will take. So we've said about 45 minutes you need to kind of allow. Obviously that's dependent on the group, how you run, how the parents manage with it, but we've given you those rough timings to work with, but don't feel like you need to stick to them as rigid as they are. We've just provided them as guidance. So the session plan will give you the key objectives, which Fatia has already spoken through, as well as the target audience, and it just reminds you of the resources that you've got access to. And then the first activity is kind of like an introduction with some discussion questions. So once you've done the welcoming the parents and introduce them to the session, we want to kind of gain their initial thoughts on the Welsh Government campaign. Have they heard of Parenting Give It Time? Do they know what it is? Have they been on the website? Are they aware that there's a Facebook page, an Instagram page? Have they accessed those? Do they follow any of those? We just want to get the initial thoughts from parents. So you'll be using the questions on in the far column here that are numbered. You'll be using those questions to guide the discussion. So this discussion can just be done verbally as a group, and how you gather the feedback will be down to you. So you may want to have a flip chart up and just be making notes as you're going along, or you might want parents to fill in post-it notes and come and stick them up, or you might just verbally kind of listen and jot down notes of what parents are saying. We'll leave that part up to you, but the questions will kind of guide that first discussion around, have they heard of the website, have they heard of the campaign, and as I said, some of those social media ways of finding out about the campaign. Have they accessed those? So we've allocated about 5 minutes for that discussion, just to start off the session. And then once you've done that with the parents, we want them then to actually go onto the website. So what we've provided here is a QR code for parents to scan. So if they've got a phone with them, they can just scan it. Right, as Fatia will demonstrate. So yeah, you just scan the QR code and it takes you straight to the Parenting Give It Time website, which I will put up on the screen in a moment. So if parents have got access to a phone, great, if they can just scan it. We'll provide a printout of the QR code which you can put on the tables. If parents haven't got access to a phone, they can either do it with somebody else, or if you've got the ability to provide iPad or computer for them to do this, and then that would be fantastic as well. Now if technology is limited, you can do it as a group, so you could just pull it up on your laptop or some device and discuss it as a group, whatever again works for you with your group of parents. So once they've gone onto the website, I'll bring up the Parenting Give It Time. This is the home page for the Parenting Give It Time website. So what we want to do is give parents about 5 minutes just to look through the website. They can look in any direction they want. They can click on the age ranges here. They can scroll down and go into these different sections. They can watch videos, look at whatever resource they want. We just want to give parents 5 minutes to do that, because what we're going to try and gather is their first impressions. So going back to the session plan. So once they've had 5 minutes to look through the website, now parents, if they want to, can just make a note of their first impressions, or they can just hold it in their mind. It's totally up to them. We've given you then a few questions to ask the parents. So first of all, we want to ask parents what were their overall thoughts and impressions of the website. So initially when they clicked on it, what did they think about the appearance, the layout and the general design? And then we want you to specifically ask them a bit more about the home page. That was the page I just showed you at the start. The use of the age ranges, the topics and the themes that are on there. The layout, the link to the resources, links to other resources and organisations, and then generally the visuals and the navigation. So how easy was it to navigate through the site and find what she wanted. Now parents have only had 5 minutes to do this, so just gather as much as you can about their first impressions and follow those questions as much as you can. And if again you can put all this in the feedback form in whatever format works for you, again going back to post-its or flip chart, or just generally jotting down the ideas from parents, and that will give us a great chance to kind of find out what parents think of the website initially.
So the next session will be on positive parenting. So the Parenting Give It Time campaign promotes positive parenting, and the website promotes this as well. So what we'd like you to do is to discuss positive parenting with the parent group that you're working with, and give them this definition. This is a definition that's been provided to us by Welsh Government, so it would be great to sort of read this definition out to the parents and gather their thoughts on them. So maybe just a short discussion on what do they think of the term, do they feel it's a good term or not, and the reasons why. And then go on to ask if the website, the Parenting Give It Time website, does reflect these positive parenting messages. So there's really two questions that need to be addressed and asked around this. So firstly, does the positive parenting, is that promoted in the Parenting Give It Time website? And then secondly, why this is the case or not? And it would be really good just to capture that on the feedback form. Again, how you do that is entirely up to you. Brainstorming, post-it notes, just a focus group style. It's entirely up to you how you would like to do that.
So the next section is around resource evaluation. So this is when we want parents to actually look at some of the specific resources that are on the Parenting Give It Time website and provide some feedback. So we're just going to demonstrate some of the resources that you could use. So I'll just pull up the session plan first. So we want parents to either look at one of the leaflets or downloadable resources that are on the website, and ideally then also look at one of the videos that are on the website. And we want to ask them to share their thoughts on the overall content, the style of the resources, and provide just general feedback on if they like them and if they think they would be useful to them. And then we want them to look at how and suggest ideas of how they can improve the resources. So how would they be more relevant, more useful to them? So on this part of the session, it's slightly up to you which resources you choose. Now you can decide as a group, or you may decide on a resource that you think the parents would find most interesting or more relevant to them. For example, if you've got a lot of parents that have got young children, you may choose a resource from the younger age range. So just to show some examples, if you go back to the actual website, you can click on any of the age ranges and they have a number of resources. Or you can also click on the support section at the end. And on this section, you've got a whole section on information sheets and booklets. So any of these you can click on. So supporting a child to learn how to share. This is usually a topical one. You can download this advice sheet, and as you can see, I think it's 2 pages, yeah. So you could choose this one, and what you do then is ask parents to look at it, read through it, and provide their comments on what they think of it as a resource, and if it's useful, and then any other improvements they think they could make. You can also look at the top tips. They're quite useful as well, and I think would be a good sort of all-rounder resource for parents to share their views on. The top tips are all over the website, but if you pop in the search bar top tips, it should bring up a range of them for you to choose. Some of them, as you can see, aren't relevant, but you can see which ones are. So there's a top tips for parents of teenagers. Again, if you've got parents with lots of teenagers, this again would be a really good one for them to review. Again, this is 2 pages. They can have a little read through and share their thoughts on this resource. And they're top tips for younger children as well. And then we'd also like them to have a look at some of the videos. Now, videos can be found on most of the sections as well. So on the 0 to 4, if you click on children's behaviour, there's a video here. So you could click that and watch that as a group. And I think the same on most of the other sections. If you look on an age range and under a section, there'll be a video. Now, the key thing in this section is that we need you to note down on your feedback form which resource you've actually looked at and sort of evaluated and got feedback on. Obviously, that would be really useful for us. Otherwise, we've got no idea what resource you've been looking at. So if you can make sure that you note down specifically which resource it is, and then again, how you provide the feedback from parents is up to you, and we'll leave that for you to decide.
So now what we'd like to find out from parents is use their overall experience of the website and give us information on what can be done to improve it. So as a group, you can brainstorm some ways to make the website better. You can use post-it notes. You can collect this information in lots of different ways. So the question that would need to be asked is what changes or features would make the experience of using the website better. Maybe we can talk about what you liked about the website, what you didn't like about the website, what worked, what didn't work. And your ideas are really important to make the website better for other parents to use. So the two questions that are going to be addressed are, what improvements do you recommend, and possibly compare it to some other parenting resources that you are using. And the second question relates to that as well. Are there any other sources that you use for parenting support that you'd like to mention? So this is the final section of the workshop, and what we'd like to get some insights from the parents on are the target audience and the key messages of the website. So we'd like the parents to share their insights on two questions. Who do they believe is the main audience for this website, and what messages stand out to them? And what other content or resources would improve the experience of the website? So what other information would be useful for them to find on the website? So if you can capture as much information as possible during the workshop from the parents, their insights and contributions are invaluable to us and will be used directly by Welsh Government. We are feeding back directly to Welsh Government, who will use this information to make improvements to the website. There is a section on the feedback form which can be used for any other extra comments or any other extra information you'd like to share with us on how the workshops went, that you can't sort of fit in anywhere else on the feedback form. So please do feel free to use that. If you can thank the parents on our behalf for their time and their efforts in taking part in this workshop, and let them know that their feedback will be used. And our plan is to also let them know how it was used.
So if you need any extra support either after watching this tutorial or as you're going through the session plan, then please get in contact with both Fatir or myself via our emails, and we will help you as much as possible. But yeah, a big thank you for supporting our project and supporting us to get the parents' voices heard.